I knew Netflix's latest cringe-inducing reality show, The Ultimatum, was gonna be great when I heard it holds the Guinness Book of Records for mentioning boners.
Boner. Boners. I touched a boner as well. I didn't know there were boners involved.
I got a boner.
So obviously I was interested and had to take a deep dive into love because nothing says I love you than issuing your partner an ultimatum.
Is this like an ultimatum?
Come join me in this beautiful disaster of a show as we answer the question,
Is love blind?
oh, wrong show. The premise of the ultimatum is pretty simple. Get married or break up. With 6 couples, all of whom being in relationships of at least a year and a half or longer, with one person in each couple wanting to get married and the other holding out. This is where the ultimatum comes in.
I basically told Hunter we either get engaged or we break up.
Let's meet our totally not unhinged or emotionally traumatized couples, shall we? First is Alexis and Hunter.
If Hunter wasn't making enough money that was reasonable, I would walk away. Hunter is not perfect for husband material yet because I make more than him.
What are you looking to get out of your potential partner?
Finances are like so important to solidify. Marriage for me is a financial decision.
Because nothing says love more than money. This is Alexis, and she's the one issuing the ultimatum to Hunter, who isn't ready to commit just yet. Right, Hunter?
I'm not ready to propose to Alexis at this moment. But if I met the perfect person, I would be ready to be engaged tomorrow.
Hello, darkness, my friend.
Second, we have Madeline and Colby, with Colby being the one to issue the ultimatum.
I am worth her whole heart. And if she can't see that, I need to find somebody else who can.
Don't let his sweet talking get to you. This man is a piece of work.
I don't think Houdini reveals his tricks, and that's what you fucking just did, you dumbass.
Madeline, on the other hand, wins the award for most drunk. I mean, she's got it pretty together when compared to some of the others on shows like Love is Blind.
I'm meeting my best friend and I love him and I'm so lucky.
I'm gonna go after your dude. You and your dude, and I know you. I know you, baby. I know you.
If you were to ever actively go after my husband,
I would destroy your life.
We then have April and Jake.
My name is April. I'm a psycho bitch. And if there's anything I need to find out, I will find out.
She's given an ultimatum to Jake, who has different priorities.
I want to travel. I want to have fun.
Because everyone knows you can't do that with a wife. Next is Ray and Zay.
I stay in the gym, I have a degree, I cook, I clean, and I know how to fuck.
She's given the ultimatum to Zay, who doesn't want to rush anything.
I'm ready to get fucked up and just forget all this even happened.
Me too, Zay. Up next is Lauren and Nate, with Nate totally unsure of what this show is all about.
I was anticipating seeing a crew of all these guys who just wants to fuck my girlfriend, you know what I mean?
what the fuck?
Which is, of course, why he was the one to issue the ultimatum to Lauren and want to be on this show.
I'm ready to drink.
It's the only way I was able to get through this show, Lauren. And rounding out the couples are Randall and Shanique, whose chemistry is about as dry as my vagina. It's here in the romantic city of Austin, Texas, that the couples will split up and have 1 week to establish new connections with the other contestants. And just like my dating experience, the process can be downright painful, with some of the contestants totally vibing while others...
Do you have a wild side?
Of course I have a wild side. I like sci-fi books.
Yeah.
What made you attracted to me?
Your voice, for some reason, your voice is really raspy.
I like that laugh.
After a week of casual dates and one-on-ones, the contestants have to choose someone who isn't their initial partner to go on a 3-week accelerated trial marriage, where they'll move in together, meet each other's families, and experience what life is like with a totally insane person. And this choosing ceremony, or whatever the hell they call it, is absolutely hilarious. Nick here wants to choose Madeline, and just look at her reaction. It's kind of like in elementary school when the teacher mentions you're going to be doing a group project and you have to quickly whisper to your friend to team up before you get matched with that weird kid who snorts his own dandruff. Speaking of Nate, man did they do this dude dirty. During this wild ceremony, he ends up proposing to Lauren, saying that he's willing to forego having children if it means he gets to spend the rest of his life with her. And you gotta give Madeline the award for best reactions. Just take a look at her here. Colby is a big shit disturber, and I'm here for it, calling out Nate's spontaneous proposal to Lauren as fake and disingenuous. After all, just a few minutes earlier, Nate told Madeline he was was gonna choose her.
You told me 10 minutes before proposing that you were gonna choose me.
And then April chimes in with this absolute gem about Nate.
When we were having our conversations, that like, instead of your eyes here, like you were looking at my tits, dude.
What? So it's probably a good thing that Lauren accepts Nate's proposal, because I don't think that man was going home with anyone else. Hunter also proposes to Alexis, and by episode 3, this show has a better track record than almost every other reality TV program. But it's April who calls these proposals out, arguing that the whole purpose of this experience is to find out more about yourself and your relationship so that you can grow and work through the problems that brought about these ultimatums in the first place. Alexis, Hunter, Nate, and Lauren haven't even got past the first stage of this experience, so it's reasonable for her to question the genuineness of these proposals.
But if you want me to be real, I don't think that engagement was real, and I would be pissed
Oh
if I
my
was
God,
Alexis.
are you fucking
Can
kidding
let
me?
Phase 1 ends, and so begins the 3-week trial marriages with our new couples, Ray and Jake, Shanique and Zay, Colby and April, and Randall and Madeline. Will our couples find new love, or will it strengthen their relationship with who they came here with? Jake and Ray immediately hit it off, and I would argue they're the strongest new couple of the bunch. They go to meet Ray's dad, a race car driver, because nothing says love than getting into a cramped car with your potential father-in-law.
The last guy her dad took around the track shit himself.
But the most hilarious dynamic is that of Madeline and her friends, who really don't see Colby as a good fit for her. One of the friends even slept with Colby, calling the experience unmemorable.
In college, Colby and I did end up hooking up. Wasn't really something memorable.
I am never gonna financially recover from this.
So when Randall comes into the picture, the girls are immediately smitten. The parents also drop some great pearls of wisdom, like Shanique's mom, who says,
"You shouldn't have to put him on an ultimatum and be like, marry me or else. You should know your worth."
Or Jake's friend.
So you're sexually attracted to him?
As the weeks press on, the sexual tension between the couples grow as they explore their boundaries. This culminates in a girls and guys night out where they get completely wasted and divulge their sexual frustrations with one another.
Now, how did you know that he bonered?
I don't think I've ever heard boner used as a verb.
Was I flattered? Yes, I was.
And we had our kisses too before we got on here, but mine wasn't on the lips. So.
Are you okay?
I'm fine. I just threw up in my mouth a little bit.
April here uses the opportunity to vent to the girls her frustration about Jake. He doesn't want to get married, yet has unprotected sex with her all the time. What's the disconnect?
Every fucking time we've never used protection. He's never pulled out on me. Right. And like to have infertility issues and you say you're not ready to have kids, but you're
Meanwhile, aside from a bit of beef between Colby and Zay, the guys are having genuine conversations about their feelings.
I think that's what Shanique has really taught me to, it's okay not to be okay.
Okay, that's boring. Back to the girls.
Look at us at this table. You think there's not boners all around? Randall's sexy. He kissed me. I touched a boner as well.
All in all, the girl and guy night catch-ups were a great way to make all our couples jealous of one another and totally have no ill effect on any of their mental well-being. As our trial marriages come to an end and sexual tensions rise, one of the new couples goes all the way, Zay and Shanique. A little fact Zay will keep secret when he's reunited with Ray. Colby says this gem of a line about April, and Madeline once again nails her reaction.
She grew into a woman during our time together.
Did she start her period or did she lose her virginity?
With the trial marriages over, the final phase begins with our original couples getting back together to see if anything has changed. And of course, like any sane person would do, some of the contestants decide to go through their partner's phones.
I was in Colby's bathroom and, happened to flip through his Apple Watch.
Oh yeah, I just happened to flip through it. Seems as though Colby has been hooking up with someone else, and you're not gonna believe his reasoning for doing so.
I did it for Madeline. I did it because Madeline asked of these things.
You heard that right. He hooked up with someone else because he thought Madeline wanted that of him. Basically, he argues that he wasn't getting that type of connection with April, and therefore he wasn't getting the full ultimatum experience he was supposed to be getting. So he went out and sought another person to establish a connection with, aka fuck, and Madeline couldn't get mad at him because that's what he was on the show to do. This is a mastery level of gaslighting fuckery. April also goes through Jake's phone, who left it unlocked when he passed out in bed. Not only did she take a look at his photos, some of which showed Ray twerking at the club, she airdropped them to herself.
And I am psycho, and I airdrop them to myself.
Now, they actually show this video in the reunion special, but look at this woman underneath here. Computer, enhance. Is that Madeline? Speaking of which, Madeline decides to invite Colby out for drinks with her friends.
Oh man, how's y'all's nights going? So far so good?
So,
you walking at a bad time or what?
This date quickly descends into madness, and the best part of it are the reactions from Madeline's friends.
How about hold off the tequila a little bit, and then maybe we can have a discussion.
for it.
When have I blamed you?
Hey, remember Alexis who got engaged at the beginning of the show? She's having her bachelorette party, and April shows up saying her period's 12 days late.
Every fucking time we've never used protection. He's never pulled out on me.
Alexis basically calls April out, saying she hasn't established a connection with Colby, so she's not really getting that experience of what it's like to be with someone else.
But nobody else has been in a relationship here with Jake for 2 years, except for me.
And April ends up storming off.
Congratulations again on your engagement. Bye, bitch.
Bye, bitch.
By episode 7, it looks like things are really going well for our couples.
I don't want to leave here engaged. I think it would be a huge mistake.
I just don't think that I need to be engaged right now.
In a complete role reversal, Zay tells Ray he's ready to be engaged, but now it's Ray, the one who initiated the ultimatum, who says she has to work out her own shit before she's ready. This causes Zay to storm out, turn off his phone, and not come home until 8 a.m. the next morning. So obviously Ray thinks he's fucking around. And this is one of Zay's biggest red flags. Every time he's confronted with something that could hurt him emotionally, instead of talking it through, he walks away. This even happens in the reunion show where he just gets up and leaves. He says this is because of trauma he experienced as a child. And when Shanique calls him out on this, guess what he does? He walks away again. It's Shanique who actually puts it best, and I'm paraphrasing here, but there comes a time when you need to face your own problems, and when people call him out on it, it doesn't mean they're belittling his trauma. Unfortunately for Zay and Ray, they split up before our final episode, but Ray still has a thing for Jake. And this leads us into our final episode where the couples need to decide if they're going to stay or walk away. And what better location to have this in than in an outdoor shed by an abandoned parking lot? Up first is Randall and Shanique. Randall says this experience has taught him that she's the one, and he proposes.
Will you marry me?
Yes.
April and Jake have their talk outside a stinky barn. He tells her he can't go through with an engagement, and the two split. However, Jake takes a quick jaunt into the nearby forest to ask out Ray, offering her a vacation to anywhere in the world. And finally, Madeline and Colby. I was like, there is no way these two are getting hitched, especially considering it was Madeline who didn't want to going into this, and who also seems to have the most doubts. But guess what? This show is an absolute train wreck, and not only does he propose, they get married right there on the spot. And boy does Colby make quick work, because on the reunion show, Madeline is 7 months pregnant.
And Colby's the daddy.
Absolutely. There's not even a...
The show even gets the baby a cute silver goblet because it's gonna need it with these two being their parents. The reunion special isn't too crazy, but we do get to see where all the couples are right now. Alexis and Hunter are still engaged, same with Nate and Lauren. Shanique and Randall split, and Ray went back to Zay to try to work things out, leaving Jake, and is now in a relationship with a woman. So all in all, does the ultimatum work?
I'm ready to get fucked up and just forget all this even happened.
Thanks for watching, everyone. Be sure to like and subscribe, and leave your thoughts about the show below. I also have tons of other reality TV videos in my playlist above. You can also follow me on Twitter and Instagram at ThinkStoryYT. Until next time, remember...
Boners.
Boner.
Boners. I touched a boner as well. Didn't know there were boners involved.